think I just saw someone over here. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, hey, down on the fucking ground, man. Hey. Hey. Right there, right there. I see you. I see you. Come on. Come on. Get down on the ground. Warning shot. Get down on the ground right now. What's up? Got a mic? No mic? No mic? Well, you see, I usually kill no mics, but I'll make you a deal. I've had a pretty stressful day. I wanna see what you think. I'm gonna read you a fun little story. Well, I'm not gonna read you a story. Basically, long story short, I'm a Twitch streamer. I do YouTube and stuff like that. I had a nuts. Get the fuck down on the ground. I never said you can get up. I basically I have a friend here who, well, not a friend, but someone who has been watching my stream for a long time. Apparently, he's a long time fan, and he likes my content. And apparently, because I've been getting into a lot of drama shit as of recently, he wrote out this fantastic fucking letter. He wishes to remain anonymous, but it is so well said and so on point to how the shit actually went down from top to bottom. And well, you're gonna sit here and listen to it. If you listen to it all, then I'll let you go. If not, well, rip you, I suppose. Let me get it. Yeah. Gonna take care. If you'll get your stuff at the end of this, if you comply. Now, here's the funny thing. I thought it'd be funny to do as a joke. Is I already briefly talked over it with my mother to make sure if it's okay, if she'd be willing to. But she is going to be the one to actually read it, just because people keep accusing me, like, what would you do if your mother saw this or anything like that? And I'm like, you know what? That'd be funny if I actually had my mother be the one to read it, and so she knows. That way, people can't say, "What if your mother knows what you've done?" Well, this is to all those people who say that. So just, go ahead and lay down on the ground. There you go. Okay, I'm going to give the mic over to my mother.
Hi. Sorry about this, but it is kind of funny. Okay. My son received a letter today because there's been a lot of BS that's been going on. And I've sort of read over it, and from my observations, from what I've seen in my living room and watching the streams and watching the messages that he receives, I'm going to say that this is pretty accurate to exactly what I've witnessed as well. So I said yes. I would like to, I will read this for you because it needs to be said. So, this is from this guy. I would like to take a moment to address the world of DayZ players, and more so the ones who are proving to be relentless and ridiculous. Can you put his clothes on? He keeps making like shuddering noises. Okay. Okay. Who are proving to be relentless and ridiculous in their persecution of Phoenix. I have been watching his streams and YouTube channel for a while, and though I don't have any affiliation with him, not that it would matter if I did, other than being entertained by his content, I thought I would share my educated opinion about the community's treatment of him in the best way I know how. In a loquacious letter filled with full and legible sentences, with words that most of you would have to look up to understand, but probably wouldn't because the majority of you are intellectually lazy and haven't even gotten to this point because you saw that this is more than one sentence, and that surpasses your Ritalin's ability to keep your attention. Cue the thanks for the book, and I stopped reading when you insulted me, my fragile ego, my fragile ego, blah 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 comments. Congratulations to those of you who have the reading level to make it this far. We will deal with actual comprehension levels later. I'm here to break down the sequence of events that led to some of you, he's like laughing at me, I think, that led to some of you to seek out Phoenix and accuse him of being a real-life rapist, and threaten him and his family, that's me, in real life. Don't say you didn't because he posted the screenshots and I've watched the videos where you said it. I've watched hours of this fucking virtual soap opera, and I can tell you exactly how everything went down with this bullshit. And I would like to rejoin the adults at the adult table and get back to being able to watch his regular hilarious content. Wouldn't we all? Backstory. It was a convoluted moment that involved multiple people that I refused to name off, but simplified and getting to the point. It starts with a fucking orange. Annoying orange 3. A fucking salty and easily manipulated orange. A motherfucking peeled piece of reddish yellow citrus gets killed on fucking DayZ. Big fucking shocker, right? The guy that kills him tells him that Phoenix, who happens to be asleep in real life, I know it's hard, but try to remember that reference. It will show up from time to time. And who knows, nothing of this is the one who told him to do it. So the kid who killed the guy told him that you did it. So, because this moronic pulpy fruit, who is in desperate need of serious anger management, he should change his handle to Angry Orange 3. He suddenly got a raging, angry, veiny boner for Phoenix and decides to make it his life mission to fuck him over every chance he gets. Because they were co-admins, Florida's third favorite crop behind fake tits and racism, deleted and banned over 110 of the Buckaroos followers on Facebook and Xbox Club and locked Phoenix out, who woke up the next day to all of this betrayal. Since then, more like Little Tangerine than an orange, has set numerous players after Phoenix and the Buckaroos to sabotage him and them every chance they get. Fast forward a couple of months. A jealousy-invoked mutiny, a DDoS, and a swatting threat later, handled by real-life authorities. Breakfast smoothies, wannabe friends, and friends of friends, 000 Trev, 000 DayZ Rebel, Radiant Full, etc. Campaign at stream sniping Phoenix and the Buckaroos 24/7, like the low-life little trash bitches they are. Fast forward to a month ago. The Buckaroos are growing in numbers, making a name for themselves as the cannibal faction to be reckoned with. They are making allies with other large factions, and making just as many enemies as they are making fans, myself included. Thank you, Guy. Despite playing all over the map and having copious amounts of hours of multiple types of recorded gameplay content, For shits and giggles, Phoenix decided to make a compilation video of where he only showed the times where he killed fresh spawns, mostly while as a fresh spawn, or partially looted himself. He posted it, and the fucking world lost its collective shit. I swear, everyone acted like he was actually gunning down real-life kindergartners with real-life rocket launchers while pissing on their ancestors' graves and shouting, "I'm the greatest," from the mountaintops. They completely bypassed the fact that he was just enjoying a PvP game, and the fact that those fresh spawns were probably just fully looted 2 minutes ago amid a vicious battle where they were doing the exact same thing and got killed for it, and totally ignoring the fact that he was also a fresh spawn at times himself, as well, proving many times over that fresh spawns can be just as dangerous as any fully looted player. Then they cry foul, they scream trash, they shout modder, they accuse him of KOSing, totally ignoring the fact that KOSing means kill on sight, meaning I see you, boom, you're dead. No interplay, no speaking, no, hey, how are you? Which is, wait for it, the actual goddamn opposite of what they do. That's the truth. Phoenix and the Buckaroos like to play with their food before they eat it. And it is very entertaining. This is why The Walking Dead is so popular. Sick psychological shit is entertaining. Is he still alive? Okay. If anyone actually took the time to put their ADD on the back burner and their limited comprehension skills on the front burner for just a moment to watch his gameplay, they would fucking know that. But that's what's wrong with the world today. People are lazy. You see 3 seconds of a video or read a tagline, then pass judgments and conclusions without knowing 90% of the truth. Lazy bunch of slug shit. What the fuck? Lazy bunch of slug shit. He laughed. He just laughed. Anywho, this particular misunderstood gameplay seems to get certain super duper special people's panties in a bunch. And now there are a bunch of unlaid, cheese flavor fingered basement dwellers proclaiming Phoenix and the Buckaroos public enemy number 1. Which they are fine with, because what is a PvP game without enemies to send and receive fire with? But these future hot dog eating contest winners take the hate a step further and attack Phoenix, aka Sebi, in real life. I'm just seeing the hot dog contest. Okay. So, needful to say, because you actually have to repeatedly explain this shit in crayon to you people in order for you to sort of understand it, there are a bunch of salty ass players out there looking for any opportunity to take out Phoenix and the Buckaroos, and in turn, Sebi in real life, because we now live in a world where there is a huge disconnect from what is real and what is fake. Well, from what I've seen last whatever, that sure is the truth. Fast forward to roughly 2 weeks ago. Phoenix crosses swords with a Squeaker clan. Guess who won that battle? Here's a hint. The one whose balls have descended. One particularly angry little toddler decided to forego his nap and smite Phoenix. He managed to manipulate a fake hero squad called the Gillies, who just so happens to turn out to be that pussy Daisy Rebels clan, into stream sniping him and the Buckaroos 24/7, like the low-life little trash bitches that they... Did you just puke? You just puked? Like the low...
Oh my god, that's a gasoline one.
You just drank gasoline.
I was trying to get water. I was like, gasoline container.
you're like, oh my god, I'm killing myself now.
I thought that was a water container. I
Oops.
forgot about
like, like, like the low life little trash bitches that they are. They ghosted and stream sniped Phoenix and the Buckaroos over several servers, like the low life little trash bitches that they are. Did I mention that anyone who relies on ghosting and stream sniping are low life little trash? Is he puking now? Like, all I hear is puking in my ears. You know that's like my thing, like I'll gag. Okay. Did I mention that anyone who relies on ghosting and stream sniping are low life little trash bitches? This brings us to a week ago and the introduction of server 4203 to Phoenix and the Buckaroos. I was there that night. I watched that one. Yeah. Okay. The Buckaroos are doing what they do at their swamp base, in their favorite hip-hop server. When Phoenix is approached on Messenger by a guy named Jimmy, aka Sheriff Goldtrigger. He and Drew UK contracted them to do a mercenary mission to take out an opposing admin on his RP server, which also included a town wipe of Gorka. He would provide them with all the intel and they would have some fun in return. So, about 10 Buckaroos, along with Drew UK, who mentioned on several occasions that his sole mission is to destroy the RP server and be the most hated player in the community, loaded up and marched 3 hours across the map, meeting some interesting people along the way. Mr. Pink cracked everyone up. Oh, Mr. Pink, I loved him. Oh my god, he called you guys Christmas trees and salad. That was awesome. Okay. When they got to where Jimmy said the whole town would be at the radio tower, but the place was abandoned along with the town. It was a setup, and someone notified the town they were getting raided, so everyone combat logged. Since they were on an RP server, they were making fun of how serious role players are. They were mocking cringy role players while they were clearing the city. While they ran down the street, Phoenix said, "Hey, let's roleplay as bandits. We're here to raid, pillage, and rape. Ha ha. Ha ha." I read it like, ha ha. Ha ha. One of the Buckaroos, Zyko, a 16-year-old in real life, said, "Yeah, where are all the women?" One of Jimmy's friends, who stayed in the town and helped plan the overthrow and setup, told Zyko that a fantasy character named Texas lived in a fantasy house across the fantasy street. Zyko went into the fantasy house, laid on the fantasy bed while making real-life sniffing noises, picked up a pair of fantasy pants, and held them with fantasy hands while making real-life sniffing noises, then said he would find her fantasy character and make her his fantasy sex slave. As if she couldn't just combat log or, lay there bored as hell, while he made real-life noises and gyrated his fantasy character by her fantasy character for about 13 seconds. Because how much fantasy sexual stamina do you think a real-life 16-year-old has before he sees something shiny in the corner, gets distracted, then bored, and shoots her in the head, fantasy fucks her dead fantasy body for 10 more seconds, making unnatural sexual noises that he heard on a terrible porno once, and then cuts her up and eats her?
Now let me demonstrate.
You want to demonstrate?
I want to demonstrate to show everyone what the big fucking whoop is about.
You want to demonstrate fantasy sex on...
Take your pants off.
You take your pants off.
You have said person tied up.
You have said person tied up who's like, oh my god, no.
And then...
Don't do it.
I'm going to approach that person, spam the B button.
Oh my god.
And go, oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't believe I'm watching this.
Oh my god, I'm a rapist.
I mean, I don't think I could go on with the rest of my life,
I am scarring so many people
I
right
mean,
now.
forget about that guy that was trying to touch my tits for real the other day. This is like scaring the shit out of me.
see that? Look, see, I'm sticking it.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
What the
Oh
hell?
yeah.
I can't even
Oh.
sleep tonight now.
Oh
What the
yeah.
fuck? Are
Oh,
you kidding me?
This person is traumatized
What's
for
wrong
life.
with you?
This
I
person,
raised you so much better than that.
you know what? Take a little bit of my balls too.
Oh my God! Now you're doing sodomy? What the hell? Oh my God.
And then I proceed to kill the person. Bang, bang, bang,
Which
you're
isn't
dead.
as bad as what you just did.
Bang, bang, bang,
Because
dead.
murder is so much better than that. That was really bad. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like I'm gonna
rapist. I'm a
seriously. I know you're like a 22-year-old living with his mother, but I'm grounding you because that shit was evil,
Yeah.
and you deserve every fucking thing that you get.
We have a gang of people come outside of the house right now and beat me up.
There should be
And
some
then-
people. Yeah, some people
and
show up and
then-
beat you up. Then they need to put a bag on your head and then rape me for real for that shit.
Which, of course, has already been told me. Many people have already
You know
said that
what?
they're
That's what
definitely
should
done.
happen right now.
Yeah.
That's exactly what should happen.
That's
You know what?
the
I
accurate
agree.
response to me doing
Yeah, because that was some scary. I don't know. Like my heart's pounding right now. That was so scary.
Yeah.
That's like
how,
triggering some real like fucking rape and shit in
really
me right
shows
now.
How much of a rapist I am, right?
Like I actually just kind of maybe came a little from it. Like that was scary. Like maybe I have a rape fantasy. I don't know. I'm getting turned on now. Ooh shit. Okay. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's the big fucking rape that everyone is twisted over. Not that one, but the, talking about it.
Yeah.
The talking about it.
Maybe it's because he's a guy, it doesn't really matter. Maybe if it was a girl,
That was raping a guy.
or no, if that was a girl character being raped, or a girl,
No, I don't know. That was pretty scary to me.
that was pretty scary.
I think if it was a girl, I'd probably have a heart attack and die right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. Let's backtrack a little. The kid sniffed some pants.
Wait, you mean he walked over like this and went, ooh, 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 I like those.
Oh my God, the dog just got excited.
Ooh, I like those pants.
Now he wants me to pet him.
You like those? I like those pants.
So yeah. So that's basically what happened. That's it. That's the big fucking rape. That everyone is twisted over. That's the scandal that puts all other scandals to shame. Fucking R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein have nothing on the depravity that was just contained in that 5 fucking minutes of online virtual gameplay and speculation of a fantasy inside a fantasy rendered in subpar pixelation. That is the catalyst of hate that should determine all future opinions and prejudices of the real-life character, personality, ethics, morals, and behavior of Zyko?
Wait, what?
Yeah, because that's who did it.
Wait, I didn't do it?
You didn't.
I didn't do
You
that?
didn't do it.
What?
You didn't. And
Well,
you know
I
what?
did it there, so...
You did just do it there. But you didn't do it before.
You mean all this hate for nothing?
It was somebody else. And you know what? I was there. And I saw it.
What?
And I heard it.
No way.
I did.
What?
I did. I was there.
Crazy. That's crazy.
And I was like, it's kind of funny, but there's so many fucking sensitive people out
I do
here
remember you saying that.
that could probably
I'm pretty sure you heard that on stream. I'm
that
pretty sure.
could probably bite you in the ass.
And then I told you it's okay.
It's okay because people aren't that stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like,
You
no.
can hear-
I'm like, no, people are that fucking stupid.
You can actually hear our conversation about happening.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh wait, but isn't all this hate for Phoenix? Oh, that's right. People weren't after Zyko. They were after Phoenix. So that rape joke, that's in quotations, rape joke, didn't actually matter to anyone at all. Cue the Gillies. Back at the radio station, they ghost in and stream snipe the remaining Buckaroos, like the low-life little trash bitches that they are. Then boast about it on Twitch, Messenger, and Facebook, like they are now some sort of PvP gods and not the low-life little trash bitches that all ghosting stream snipers are. The Buckaroos decide to hang out in the RP server because in their travels across the map, they came across some pretty cool people who they enjoyed real conversation and fantasy gameplay with. Some of the RPers felt the same way and accepted them into the community. I think he died.
He's still there.
Okay. So, Phoenix and the Buckaroos decided to try out role-playing and introduced a bandit faction to the server, who also happens to run a strip club. You're such a misogynist. I totally raised you different than this.
That's crazy.
Every once in a while, over the next couple of days, Zyko's fantasy bandit character would ask other fantasy characters if they knew where the fantasy character Texas was, because he was keeping his fantasy character's fantasy dream alive of one day owning a fantasy sex slave. Are you getting the fucking not real life theme here yet? Is it sinking in a little bit? I could go on, and I will, considering the intended audience. 3 days go by. I'm losing my voice. Do you have water? I need water. 3 days go by. Make sure he's... Are you still there? Can you twitch your leg? Oh, there he is. All right, we're just making sure. I don't want to be accused of, like, death by Schnook Schnook. You seen that one? Death by Schnook Schnook. Okay. They are now members of the RP community. Ooh, are you giving him a blowjob? Oh, he's liked it. He liked it. Oh my God, it's so real. I'm getting turned on. Now they are members of the RP community and working on the strip club. They actually met the fantasy character named Texas and asked her if she wanted to have the fantasy job as a fantasy stripper. She said she would do it as long as she was paid in fantasy drugs, and her real-life husband agreed to this as long as his fantasy character also got paid in fantasy drugs. A little later, Phoenix was talking in game chat with one of his chick friends. This is where the big bag thing happened. She was asking about what happened with the Gorka raid. He repeated what happened, which was, the thing, and was laughing about it. He repeated what happened and was laughing about what Zyko's fantasy character had said, and how they actually found the fantasy character that he was looking for, because that's funny. Because, oh my God, they were looking for her and then they found her. Everyone thought it was funny and went on with, oh my God, their fucking lives. But little did they know, oh my God, this is getting scary. Little did they know, lurking from the confines of his darkened, cum-stained room, a tireless stranger spends sleepless nights and agonizing days stalking Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch streams with thirsty, bloodshot eyes and eager butt twinges, waiting for any indiscretion he could manipulate and use as a weapon to take down his unassuming foe. He has a mission. He has determination. It is unwarranted, laughable, and admittedly, he was not encouraged by his choice and enemy, but at his heart, his truest of hearts, he is a troll, and any old enemy will do. Did he pick a name out of a hat? Did he throw a dart at a board of random names? Did he have an epiphany or a vision while jacking off into a sock while sitting on the toilet and looking at his mother's JCPenney's underwear catalog while his legs fall asleep? We will never know. We won't. We really won't. I mean, that's something that I don't actually want to know. But a name has been picked, or a name he has picked, and that name is dun, 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 Phoenix. Life will not be complete until he destroys Phoenix, so he watches and waits for anything that could be damaging to Phoenix. After all those endless days and nights of no-life stream gazing, his moment has arrived. This is it. He has found it. Phoenix's fucking kryptonite. And there it was, in all its glory, just being handed to him on a golden platter of digital delight. Phoenix said the word rape. many freaking southern like debutantes just fainted and spilled their mint juleps all over like porches in the South, like just they all, he licks his can't even read this. He licks his anticipating lips, made dry with his chronic mouth breathing. His vengeful tongue is discolored from lack of productive use and poor diet choices. It is slimy and smells of acid reflux and rancid refried beans. And his version of what might pass as a penis goes from 6 to midnight. He records that damning stream and sends it out as if it was a gift from his soul to the world of half men everywhere. Into the world of easily manipulated, the emotionally and mentally stunted, and constantly ravenous, and superficially titillated DayZ community. So how should I put this? The shit hit the proverbial fan. That's what fucking happened. I can attest to that one. This guy's on point at this. I mean, like, he is so on point.
I read through this, I was laughing the entire time.
He is so on point with what I witnessed, like watching, like cooking you dinner and shit, and like watching this stuff happen.
Yep.
He is so on point. People, real and fantasy, lost their fucking minds. They wanted blood. They wanted heads. They wanted Phoenix's balls on a platter and proudly displayed on the mantle at the tavern next to a basket of what was left of everybody's sex life and self-worth. That's a pretty fucking good line right there. Shit hits the fan while Sebi is asleep in real life. And little did everybody know, lurking from another part of the fucking world, another fucking plot of sabotage was unfolding. Trev, still a member of the Savages at this time. He's the one that got kicked out of the Savages for trying to speak for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Don't do that, man.
Holding the Savages over the head.
Holding Savages over the head.
The Savage War between the Buckaroos and Savages.
Oh, yeah. He's causing all sorts of problems. Yeah, you don't step on your boss's feet. That don't work. Trev, still a member of the Savages at that time, hired the Gillies to create chaos in the hopes that the idiot villagers would become the Buckaroos. Well, they got one thing right. The villagers are idiots. They placed a bunch of landmines in the neutral zones and on the tavern doorstep, eventually killing the village idiots, including their beloved Doc. Sebi wakes up, and Phoenix gets online to be confronted by hordes of hate mail, telling him that Sebi, the real person, and not Phoenix, the fantasy character, is a rapist and needs to die. Sebi was getting death threats and threats to his family's lives. Tell me, who is more sick? The virtual RP fantasy character repeating a joke about a fantasy RP bandit behavior, or real people lynch mobbing an innocent person and threatening their real lives because they are too stupid to discern real from fiction. But I guess that is kind of hard to do with their heads shoved that far up their asses and unable to unstick them because of their extremely large foreheads. I think I know what he was implying there. Doc messaged Phoenix in the community group chat that he didn't care about the rape allegations. He was just pissed that he got blown up at the tavern and wanted to take it out on the closest person, who just so happened to be Phoenix. Again, dealing with another emotionally stunted person. I'd hate to be this guy's kid. Bad day at work? Sorry, little Billy, you get the belt tonight. Because he was intending on continuing with the RP rules, Sebi decides to take this matter up with the admins on RP server 4203 and his RP fantasy character Phoenix. He contacts them and says he will surrender and get this all settled. He set up a fantasy date with FLG to meet up meet at the fantasy hospital to discuss a fantasy trial where he could defend his fantasy and real self, but with one ultimatum. No one was to kill Phoenix at all. He promised that if anyone killed him, he would launch a mass attack, wiping the city and everyone they saw. FLG agreed to these terms. Agreed to the terms. Phoenix and some of the Buckaroos were in the hospital waiting for the FLG to arrive. When they get word that FLG ghosted in like the pussies they are and killed an unsuspecting Buckaroo. So, the Buckaroos prepared for a battle. Some shots were fired. There were casualties on both sides, including Doc, but ultimately Phoenix, being more mature, surrendered in order to hold up his end of the bargain. They were starting to chat when pre-ejaculator Trev starts waving his gun and ego around, both compensating for his many shortcomings. And then kills Zyko while handcuffed and shoots Phoenix, mortally wounding him after a daring escape. And then claimed he was the greatest PvPer ever. A typical theme song for most underdeveloped pre-ejaculating douche canoes. Douche canoes. As promised by Phoenix, it was game on. It was game on. A no-holds-barred city wipe of huge proportions that involved multiple factions ensued, as agreed to in the deal. It was a brilliant and lovely massacre, with carnage left by all. It was a wonderful day of fantasy PvP and on a fantasy PvP platform. But that was apparently too much fantasy for a group of no-lifers with unrealistic expectations and delusions of grandeur. They were offended that Phoenix had kept the promise that they all agreed to. They were aghast at the consequences that ensued because they didn't keep up their end of the bargain. They still wanted their trophies of Phoenix parts to make them feel somewhat whole again, as if any amount of fantasy tokens or anything other than real-life therapy, real-life inner spiritual work, or a really good real-life free lay could make that happen. Same day, same war, different battle. Phoenix and some of the Buckaroos make their way down to MIB trading post, where they find them all hiding in the back because they were under fire. Phoenix and the Buckaroos give aid and take fire as well from snipers who seem to know their every move. Please note the fact that the same three low-life little trash bitch screen snipers, cough, the gillies, cough, cough, gillies. Sorry, I did that wrong. I said it out. Were on Phoenix's Twitch the whole time, bragging about every time they hit someone the second it happened, messaging Phoenix on Messenger, Xbox, and Twitch, boasting as if they had some sort of pussy skill to be proud of. I got something in my contact. So, there was pre-ejaculator Trev and his merry band of yiffies. Yiffies. Causing chaos in the hopes that the idiot villagers would take the bait and believe it was the Buckaroos. They did. Typical village idiots. Head of the MPs, RJ, and his fantasy role-play character wanted to maintain law and order and bring some control to the server by diffusing the situation, and contacted Phoenix and promised him that if he surrenders and agrees to a trial, he would be a safe person to surrender to. I remember that. I remember when he contacted you. He was really nice. Phoenix agrees to this and starts to make his way up to neutral territory at the tavern to meet with the MPs. 3 times he attempted his surrender. 3 times the idiot villagers did not stand down, and fantasy killed his fantasy character in order to make their peepees tingle. He laughed. He laughed at that one. Finally, he made it to the tavern where Phoenix Fantasy surrendered to one of the fantasy MPs, where he does a good job at RP and controls the situation by moving Phoenix into his cabin and keeping all of the village idiots out who were calling for Phoenix's fantasy and real blood. I remember him too. He was really professional. Like, he was like, hey guys, this is MP business. You stay out. And they listened to him. So I was like sitting here going, what's going on? Okay. One of the fantasy players on site happened to be Texas, so she was allowed into the cabin. Then the actual character, Zyko, who said the fantasy joke 3 real days prior, showed up and was let into the cabin as well. Both he and Phoenix were cuffed. Then a third Buckaroo member, Walker, showed up as a bodyguard in case they were double-crossed again. I'm gonna burp. I don't want to burp on microphone. During the couple of hours, yes, that is real life hours, that they were disrobed and cuffed in the cabin.
Like this guy?
Oh, like this guy, yeah. This seems to be like a thing. You made me mess up. Cuffed in the cabin, waiting for characters with higher authority to show up. It was mentioned that in the matter of the rape allegations, rape in quotes, rape allegations, the person who should decide their fate should be the fantasy character Texas, since she seemed to be the so-called fantasy quote-unquote victim in this. Enter a politically correct word for retardation here, epidemic. Phoenix suggested that they should reverse the roles and have the fantasy character Texas, an adult in real life, fantasy rape the fantasy character Zyko, a minor in real life. Oh, well, there's that. All village idiots, I remember that actually. I was sitting right here. All village idiots who were so outraged by a fantasy RP rape joke. They were like jumping around the windows like, kill him, you're a sicko, wait until I find you in real life, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah, so all who were outraged by a fantasy RP rape joke supposedly made by a fantasy RP bandit on a fantasy RP platform that was mentioned to someone else 3 real days prior were suddenly delighted and overcome with joy and celebrated the idea of rape, the act of fantasy pedophilic rape perpetrated by fantasy characters on a fantasy platform. When Texas announced that she had a fantasy zucchini on her, they cheered even louder. They they wanted pedophilic rape, and they wanted it now. They laughed and giggled as the thought of it swam around their minds, providing proof that they didn't really care about rape. They were not there for noble reasons. They had no moral outrage over fantasy rape. They were not heroes. They were not the heroes they were pretending to be. The village idiots were the very thing they claimed to hate, but refused to see it. They refused to see their hypocrisy. They refused to see their cognitive dissonance. They refused to believe that they were only displacing their own inner demons and projecting their guilt in the form of false outrage onto someone else for assuming that he did what they, deep down, most wanted to do but were afraid of doing. Well, unless, of course, it's in a mob-fueled gang rape of a teenager with a fucking vegetable, then that's okay. I remember I was like asking you, like, why are they so mad about rape when they're sitting here saying they want to rape the kid? Like, how is that, like, okay? So, and why, all so you can have a reason to hate Phoenix. Y'all don't hate him because you actually believe he's a rapist. Y'all hate him because you can't be him and in turn can't beat him. The display of lack of depth perception of this community is fascinating. That's probably why I like it so much, because I'm just like fascinated by all the stupid drama. Like, it's like a soap opera. It's like insane. Because so many people are like stupid, like actually stupid. Yeah, it's like Housewives, yeah. This is quality drama. The king of soap operas. Hell, you can't even write this shit. I was just about to say, you can't write this shit. You motherfuckers are dumb as fuck. And the best part is, you don't even know it. Because while you think you're destroying another person by attacking him, all you are doing is fueling his fame, and in turn making him more and more powerful with each and every ignorant hate log that you throw on the fire. That's freaking true. People love drama. And he is soaking it up. He is basking in all the hate-filled torpedoes launched his way. He is bathing in the vitriol that is... Oh, I hear guns. It's that way. Okay. He is bathing in the vitriol that is spewing from your gateways to hell that you call mouths. He is tap dancing across the floor of your bitterness and tears. Because he actually knows how to play the game on all levels. Oh, he's sneaking. Oh, no, I thought he was sneaking away. On all levels that you are now... I think he likes this story because he's like just hanging out. On all levels that you are not advanced enough to even know they exist. I mean, is he really that big of a threat to you? I mean, he does have you keeping his name in y'all's mouths, so maybe he is. But it's not like he wouldn't just go away if you didn't keep provoking him. You do know that old adage about poking a bee's nest, right? And yet, you provoke him. Like dumb fucks, whose daddies are also your uncles. You keep poking that bee's nest under the mistaken guise that y'all think that y'all are right. Not even stopping to contemplate for even 1 second that if you just chill the fuck out long enough to put your ego in check and consider for 1 goddamn second that you are the wrong ones in this scenario, stop and apologize for attacking a person for something they didn't do, then they wouldn't feel forced to have to constantly defend himself, to where you wrongfully feel the need for vengeance and persecution. That will be met, once again, with even more self-defense, thus creating an everlasting circle jerk of misery, turning something that was inherently made to be a fun game into a center for disease and stress, all because you all are afraid of losing your fucking heart-ons. That's the truth right there. That is 100% the truth. Okay, next chapter. Instead of raping a child, Texas decides to play rock, paper, scissors. I didn't think that sentence was ever going to come out of my mouth, ever. Like, I never would have said, you know what's going to come out of my mouth someday? Instead of raping a child, Texas decides to play rock, paper, scissors. With the terms being that if she wins, she gets to kill them, and if Zyko and Phoenix wins, they get to go free, and the whole thing should be fucking forgotten. Both Zyko and Phoenix won, and were set free. Since no admins felt it necessary to be online, the whole time they were waiting to be tried, the MPs considered it to be a fair trial and sent them on their way. I think that's fair. If you're not going to show up and be like boss, then you got to let someone else be boss. You know? They made it to Lag Field. Oh, I know that field. I seen you trying to run in that. It's like running through ooze, like tar. They made it to Lag Field, where Zyko was then shot in the back by a headhunter while he was running at the speed of smell. Yeah, that sounds about right. I burped, sorry. It was like a lettuce burp, which is really gross. Phoenix ran into the hospital where he was approached by an MIB who asked him why they attacked the trading post. He was feeling betrayed because they were starting to become friends. Phoenix explains that it was not against him or the MIBs, it just happened to be a place where a lot of the village idiots were, and with multiple factions attacking, there was bound to be some civilian casualties. That's why when RJ came to you and he asked you not to kill any civilians, and you're like, yeah, cool, we won't touch the trading post or the tavern. Yeah, because he was actually playing leader and trying to protect his people. I know too much about this shit. Where was I? Oh my god. He accepted this, and they started to make their way to the trading post in order to hash it out with the other MIBs. Along the way, they were ambushed by a horde of zombies. Is that where you were standing on the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, horde of zombies, and the MIB one shot was killed. Phoenix could have ended it there, but instead he got his gear and carried it all the way to the trading post for him. I saw that. That was really nice of you. Because in truth, that is who Sebi is when he's not RPing as a band. You were RPing as a bandit or having to defend himself against lies and haters. I know, you're so sweet. I don't know why people hate you so much. I know why they hate Phoenix, but I don't know why they hate you. Anyway, when he got to the trading post, he was met by other MIBs where they were still under attack by the Yiffies. Yes, I changed their name permanently to this much more suited name. And Yiffies are those transsexual puppies,
Basically,
right?
yeah.
Transsexual puppy sex
They're
boys.
like, furry, but
Furry but transsexual.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, Yiffies. They're now Yiffies. Gillies are now Yiffies. Okay. That would work. At this point, he was contacted again by RJ and asked to come back to the tavern so they can talk. As Phoenix and Walker were escaping the trading post, the low-life little trash bitch stream snipers took out Walker. But Phoenix was able to get out and get to the tavern where he and RJ and 5 other guys sat around a bonfire talking about all that went down and started to bond. It wasn't that hard when everyone shut up, turned down the egos, and let Phoenix explain the truth while they actually listened to him rather than jump to conclusions based on secondhand hearsay and manipulated content. That's the truth right there. Because every person that you have actually talked to, like they actually came and said, "What's all this about?" Yep. They actually had the balls and the freaking maturity to come up to you and say, "What is all this about?" And you said it to them. They're shooting again. They have actually sat there and listened. They're like, "Oh, this whole thing is stupid.
Yep.
This thing should have never happened." Every single one of them. I think he's getting anxious. He thinks he's going to get shot. After an hour or so went by, they got a distress signal from the MIBs asking for backup against the low-life little trash bitch. I love how he keeps saying that. The low-life little trash. I wonder how he feels about stream snipers. The little trash bitch stream snipers, the Yiffies, who were still engaging war. He just had a problem with his mic. Who were still engaging war on the trading post. They were determined to frame the Buckaroos. So RJ sent 3 of his men down there to help while they stayed and kept watch at the tavern. The Yiffies ended up killing all the backup and then made it up to the tavern where they attacked. But surprise, surprise, they were unable to accomplish anything but getting squads wiped like the little pussies they are, since their only weapon of choice was taken from them when Sebi decided to turn off his Twitch stream. Jeez, you can't kill when you're not looking from behind enemy lines, huh? After a while, Phoenix and RJ, who were quickly becoming friends, decided to head down to the Buckaroos base strip club, where they spent another couple of hours on top of a haystack kumbayaing until the Yiffies ghosted in and screen sniped them like the low-life little trash bitches that they are. Again, gloating about their lack of skills on all the messaging platforms. The next day, when you thought it was safe to come back out, the Buckaroos went to help Giggles. This is a person at the tavern, right?
Yes. He's
but
giggling because he's a cannibal.
Huh?
He's giggling because he's a cannibal.
Oh, he's a cannibal, so he giggles.
So
okay.
that's acceptable, though.
But you can eat people. You just can't eat people without their permission.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I don't think they're giving consent to be eaten either.
But he's not eating their. Well, he's eating their private parts. They're just not eating his private parts first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe he is. I don't know.
Maybe he is. Maybe he could be eating his private parts first. Okay. So killing and eating people is okay, but gyrating next to somebody like you just did is a horrible thing. Yeah. No, he sounds like a good person from what you've told me. But we're ambushed and held by FLG and told to wait for over an hour until Fox got there. You say it.
Who the fuck is Fox?
Who the fuck is Fox? Phoenix exclaimed. Who the fuck is Fox? Like, how many cooks are in the goddamn kitchen? And why should I even give a shit? Turns out Fox is Jordan Wilkins. Bum, bum, bum. The fucking basement-dwelling asshole who sent the out of context clip to everyone in the hopes to make his little Winky Bear. His little Winky Bear. That's his mom's name for it. She still washes it for him too, because he isn't very good at it. Jump a little. Make his little Winky Bear jump a little. This is a guy who ego tripped so hard you can get pregnant by it. You can get pregnant by it. And y'all were so eager to jump on his dried up little nuts. How does that bandwagon taste? Visualize it. Oh God, I'm an artist, don't make me. Visualize that greasy, envious, narcissistic basement dweller's ballsack that he sits and sweats on all day, every day, with accompanying shit-stained taint. Oh my God. Now imagine that. Imagine that's what's in your mouth right now. You fucking lemmings. What's he doing? Is Calhoun? Oh. You fucking lemmings. This pimple of a chode is leading you right off a cliff. This pimple of a chode. I love that. Yeah. That's brilliant. This pimple of a chode is leading you right off a cliff to forever be rotting in that mass grave of obtuse assholes who willingly gave their useless lives over to some Neanderthal. Neanderthal. You're supposed to say tall, not Neanderthal. Neanderthal. Yeah. Some Neanderthal who will have this one moment of purely perceived control to be the best thing that will ever happen to him in his short, pathetic life. Other than the hot dog eating contest. Yes. Yeah. So
We're all proud of that.
Very proud of him. This naked mold... Oh my God, this fucking sentence. This naked mole rat dipped in Cheeto dust. Finally arrived and pulled Phoenix aside. Holy shit. He told him that he would delete the posts that falsely accusing Phoenix of rape that he fully knew was fake, as long as Phoenix admits that Gary Busey's loose inner thin skin, that I have to read this over, as long as Phoenix admits that Gary Busey's loose inner thigh skin is right, and Phoenix is wrong. I'm getting a visual picture of this guy. Gary Busey's inner thin thigh skin. You know how gross that probably is? Yeah. Oh my God. I'm crying. Oh my God, where am I? Phoenix said, whatever gets your dick hard, dude. Fine, you're right. Happy now? He keeps going. The old lady labia keeps his end of the bargain for a minute. The old lady labia keeps his end of the bargain for a minute and took down the video. If it was actually real, then he and he actually cared, it would have stayed up no matter what. But this wasn't about doing something righteous. This was about doing something right for him. This was all about his insecurities wrapped around his finger and inserted into his own ass for a little bit of self-ass play while he cries out of loneliness on his Pokemon pillow.
The visual
Oh my god. Oh god, I don't know who wrote this, but you're my freaking soulmate. And y'all, oh my god, and y'all have played into it so well. Congratulations. You took someone's fetish and turned yourselves into cyberbullies. You must be so proud. You willingly let yourselves be manipulated into being eagerly horrible people. You fucking sexually repressed gullible cucks. I gotta say that better. You fucking sexually repressed gullible cucks. I'm doing the hand motions as too. Then the Yiffies were at it again, sniping the MIBs on the hopes of, God, I'm getting the visuals out of my head. This is really bad. Hopes of setting up the Buckaroos again. So again, Phoenix and the Buckaroos give assistance after the FRGs said they were fine with ending everything and letting Phoenix and the Buckaroos go. Burped up lettuce again, sorry. Karen, which apparently can be a boy's name, picturing a soccer mom with a bob cut and permascal. And who is one of the lackluster, cocksucking, corrupt admins of the RP server, decides to finally grace us with his presence and joins the party, just so he can rehash all the old, already dealt with and thought to be done with drama, and show up in order to just add his 2 cents into it. I guess the poor little baby was feeling left out. Acid wash camel toe. Acid wash camel toe tells Phoenix, it's Karen. Because, Karen would have an acid wash camel toe. Tells Phoenix that he wants to meet him down at the trading post so they can talk. Phoenix agrees and heads down there, hoping this will be the final hurdle to finally appease the restless natives. But when he gets there, he isn't welcomed into a powwow of resolution. What is that? Oh my god, I can hardly breathe. He isn't welcomed into a powwow of resolution. Instead, he is ambushed with Karen standing there in his mom jeans, with his dick in his hand and the Yiffy's dicks in his mouth, bending over and taking it in the ass every time one of the Yiffys opens his mouth and comes lies all over him in a manipulation facial. That was a sentence. A manipulation facial. Oh man. Manipulation facial. Where am I? God. Karen, he was sprawled out on the he was sprawled out on the floor like a whore in heat with a double mortgage. With a double mortgage. Just letting the Yiffies work him over like the used up spooge sponge he is. Used up spooge sponge. He wasn't there to be a good leader, to make peace, or to end the war with Phoenix and the Buckaroos and protect his people and the server. No. He was there trying to force Phoenix into a scene of 2 girls, 1 cup, where Phoenix has to eat Yiffy shit and pretend that he likes it. These 2 girls, 1 cup. So, do you want to guess as to how Phoenix reacted to that proposal? Yeah, it was a fucking fantasy bullet to one of the fucking Yiffy's heads, and a red screen for his fantasy character, and a real life ice cream for Subby. That's the truth. That was the night that you made me take you to go to get ice cream. And so goes the everlasting promise proposed to you all by Phoenix. If you continue to fuck with me, I will do what I do best and fuck you back. But it will be in your tight little pink asses with a goddamn sledgehammer, duct taped to the end of a fucking backhoe, wrapped in a wicker condom, and singing "It's a fucking small world after all" in falsetto on repeat until you're begging for a truce or start bleeding pus and regret out of your ears and eye sockets, whichever one seems to be more painful, because that is apparently how you like it. And you're in luck, because that is exactly how Phoenix and the Buckaroos and their allies like to give it. That's true, I've seen you. Oh, man. I'm going to take this down a little bit, lower the mood lighting, if you will, and get a little real with you. I just burped up last second. Not that, another gunshot, not that I haven't been real already, but in all seriousness, it's got to be said, because you fuckfaces are crossing the line when you threaten people, their families, and their lives in real life. I mean, swatting, coming to his house, beating him up, fucking his mother, and killing him? Whoop, that's closer. This guy's like, man, get me out of here. I love this story, but get me out of here. Can you guys move to a more secure spot? What fucking went so wrong in your life to the point that you feel that an ever-respawning fantasy life is worth more than one real-time life? How the fuck did you get to a point that your one life became less important than a respawning fantasy life? When did you turn into the rancid, evil slime beneath our feet? When did you become the toxic sludge that should be barreled off and stored in a hazardous waste site to be forgotten forever? Show me on the dolly where the fat man touched you, and let's begin your healing. Now, I bet you're wondering who I am and why my opinion matters. Who am I? In all fairness, it doesn't really matter who I am. I'm a provider of truth. The source is not as important. Well, I just want to stop for a second and say that, like, the fact that they did actually write you and say they're going to kill you and rape me and stuff, like, that fucking pisses me off to no end. Like, first of all, I like to see you try, because I will fucking take you down a notch or two. Second, you don't know who the fuck I am or what I do for a living. You really don't want to fuck with me. And so I'm just saying, that kind of pisses me off. Anyway. Oh, and I turn into Mama Bear and I will fucking kill some people. You guys seen, what's that movie? Revenant? Revenant your asses, Mama Bear. Anyway. In all fairness, it doesn't really matter who I am. I'm a provider of truth. The source is not as important as the facts to the matter. I am the casual yet discerning observer. I am the mirror. I am a person who knows how to understand context clues, unlike half of you morons who are trying so desperately to interject yourselves into an over and done with snippet of a conversation between two people that you weren't a part of. I'm someone who knows how to separate real life from fantasy. I'm a fucking adult who has basic common sense skills that far outweigh some of your advanced critical thinking skills. I'm someone who is ahead of the curve on this particular lesson. I'm a third-party bystander watching a bunch of posers falsely persecute, in real life, a real-life innocent person based on what his fantasy character repeated in a conversation about another fantasy character's joke on a fantasy platform. Yeah, y'all a bunch of pussies. If I were to take a guess about you based on your attack of Phoenix, I would say each one of you has your own fucking personal pile of burning books on your front lawn and a stack of angry letters to authors like Margaret Atwood and Bret Easton Ellis, telling them you hope they die. I bet you send hate mail and pick at every movie. He's trying to get out. He's trying to get out. And pick at every movie, story, comedian, or novel ever that cast men in a role of suppressor and women as victims, which up until recently is just about every single one. I bet you think the beloved classic Christmas song, Baby It's Cold Outside, is about rape. I bet you masturbate to social justice warrior Facebook posts and come in your knit slouchy hats and year-round scarves. I'm pretty sure you've received more participation awards than actual first place prizes. I'm also pretty sure you believe the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus thinks you're pretty darn special. He may love you, but everyone else thinks you're a fucking asshole. He just took off. I think he's getting scared of the guns. I think he's getting scared of the guns. Maybe something's coming. Find out if he... Well, I know he can kind of talk because I can hear him laughing. Maybe he wants to shoot. Oh, wait. Yeah, so Jesus may love you, but everyone else thinks you're a fucking asshole. I would also venture to guess that you're a bunch of virginal, no-life, egocentric, salty, mindless, cucky snowflakes who have nothing better to do than to take your insecurities and lack of control in your lives out on complete strangers who you have somehow perceived to have actually affected your life in some way over an LED screen. Why am I saying anything at all? Because y'all are fucking with my entertainment. This guy. Oh my god, his arm's like backwards. I'd rather watch gameplay than hear about this stupid shit one more fucking time. I'm bored of hearing fake, self-righteous people fueled on cognitive dissonance, hypocrisy, and egocentric, mindless mob mentality, bringing up a non-issue and belligerently and falsely persecuting a real person about something that you don't really give a fuck all about in the first place, other than as an excuse to displace and project your own feelings of inadequacy onto the creator of a virtual character because he's able to accomplish the things that you wish you could. That's the truth right there. And because his character is saying and portraying the things that you are guilty of feeling, but too afraid to do and say, whether in real or fantasy life. That's truth there too. This man's taking us to church. Isn't that gonna kill him? How are we supposed to hear it? And because you're too vapid that you don't even know this about yourself, because you're too busy forcing your superficial expectations onto the world around you, rather than just being honest with yourselves and others. Why don't you love yourself? You know, your life would be so much better if you just did. I'll be sending thoughts and prayers. Hold your breath until you get them. So, how do I know that you all don't give a fuck all about role-playing jokes, about simulated video game non-rape? Non-rape because moving your joystick up and down with your thumb alone in the privacy of your own house while you wait for a cheesy pizza to be delivered, thus making your poorly rendered digital character move in an unrealistic and unimaginative way near the character of a poorly rendered digital female is hardly representative of rape. And quite frankly, is offensive to victims of real rape. Now, I can attest to that one. That is just offensive. That you think that this equals that. There's no way. And it discredits the real conversation and real outrage that needs to happen over the real life stuff. You know, real life, the fucking opposite of what you guys do here. Repeated in a conversation between two people who didn't make the original role-playing joke in the first place. You know how I know? Because you don't give fuck all when you do it yourselves. When they rape themselves, when they rape. They don't give a fuck all when they do it. Wait, what that's you say? I don't simulate rape. I'm above such things. I'm totally PC. That's what you tell yourselves, right? As you teabag your foes' dead bodies? In fact, not only by your standards are you rapists, but you're also homosexual necrophiliac rapists. Let's see, what are some other examples of how I know you don't give fuck all about role-playing fantasy rape jokes repeated by someone else in a conversation that you weren't a part of? Because you don't give fuck all about murder, torture, cannibalism, graphic violence, kidnapping, war, gang violence, bullying, lying, bigotry, profanity, genocide, mass murder, coups, slavery, pedophilia, harassment, stalking, dismemberment, mutilation, betrayal, animal torture, and yes, even rape. You do all of these and agree to the terms of all of these every time you play PvP or violent rated M games, and even not so violent games. I'm drinking some water. How many times did you commit these offenses just playing Minecraft at the age of 12? Don't lie. You know you were all sick little bastards, and you still are. Except now you hide it behind deeper voices, false outrage, and persecution of easy targets, all because you need a scapegoat to project your own guilt upon. Let's face it. You are still a little squeaker rage quitter that can't handle the fact that someone plays the game better than you. It's time to get some skills. Fucking life skills, that is. And remember, none of this is actually fucking real. It's a fucking video game, you fucking insecure, knuckle-dragging, huffy, pseudo-defenders of virtue and morality thought police. And P.S., if you haven't figured it out yet, Sebi is a real fucking person. Phoenix is a fantasy fucking character who is really good at antagonizing. You will either love his character or hate his character. They are two separate fucking things. One's real, one's not. But in the end, love or hate, positive or negative, it is all attention. And no matter what, you are giving him exactly what he wants, you fucking gullible cucks. And if you're thinking of sending me what would ultimately be an ineffective rebuttal, and I can agree to that because this guy's fucking good, just know this. Not only are you anywhere near my level of debate, I agree. But after having heard a lot of your opinions and ignorant conclusions already, your incredulous and limited opinions mean about as much to me as an ingrown hair zit on the front butt of a fat woman. And I read that wrong. Yeah, you mean as much to him as an ingrown hair zit on the front butt of a fat woman. Love and kisses, not your average white guy. That's how he signed it.
Damn.
Holy shit, I'm in love with this person. Yeah. I'm like gonna go in my bedroom later and like masturbate to his words, like his visuals, not the naked mole rat or the Gary Busey thigh skin, but this guy is brilliant. I love him, and he saw exactly what I saw when I was watching your streams. How this fucking community took something they didn't know fuck shit about and turned it into a huge fucking thing and persecuted you as a real person. And I watched them fucking do it, and I read their fucking things online where they're telling you that they're gonna kill you and come rape me like they fucking can or something. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. They think they're so fucking self-righteous, and they ain't shit. They're lying to themselves. They're doing the exact thing but worse. So you know what? This guy is right. 100% right. I can attest this is exactly what I saw. And I'm also a third-party bystander. And I got dragged into this by these fucking assholes. So, hey dude, bob your head up and down if you agree that this is some bullshit. But this guy was awesome. Hey! Oh! You're such an asshole. You're such an asshole. This is why people want to take you down. You can't eat them now. What's the point? That's wasted meat. You are so... Stop it. You're such an asshole. That poor guy. He sat through the whole thing.
80 minutes.
80 minutes?
80 minutes?
Are you... No wonder my throat hurts. 80 minutes. That guy...
And that's
Both...
why I wanted you to read it and not have everyone else, because they're not going to read it.
No one would read that. Are you kidding?
I'm still going to post it.
No one's going to fucking read that. They're too lazy.
But I'm not, but they wouldn't read it.
People don't read anymore.
Yep.
They write words with fucking numbers in them.
Yep.
People don't read anymore. No one would have read that. I'll read it because I like reading. And because I'm fucking pissed that someone said they're going to rate me, and I'm going to fucking find out who that is, and I'm going to send some... can't say anything else about that. Anyway.
And with that, I leave you adieu. Let me just
Bye,
let me just do a little
Wait,
salute.
you should probably say what just happened.
Oh,
Coming in.
for the people that are just now coming in, basically, long story short, big bad community, lots of drama versus Buckaroos, and I thought it was funny. This guy wrote me a message, a long ass fucking book that was 80 minutes to read. Funny as all hell, completely accurate, and I had my mom read it because they were saying that because people kept commenting saying, what if your family knows? I'm gonna find out who your family is and send it to you, send it to them, and I'm like, you know what'd be funny if I actually have my mother read it. So yeah, just yep. Okay, I love you all. Not really.